Yeah, but bro, your story is like insane to me, and like how fast you've like, and I've never really heard it, and like whenever the time is, whenever you feel like sharing, like the fact that you and Daisy know each other too is like insane.
Mm-hmm.
What a small world.
Very small world, like very, very small world. And we worked. She worked with me when I was in the jail. So she knows my work ethic as a person. So when I left the jail, basically because I had to fight for my daughter, and stuff like that, and like the court system is just fucking rigged. I just had to let go. I had to sell my house, this and the third, start over from ground zero. I lost everything, so I had to pivot. I knew real estate was always in my plans. Like, you know, your back is against the wall, and you have like you don't really have anybody to turn to, so you just kind of just taking trial and error, tripping up, you know, messing around, doing what you need to do to get to point A to point B, and that's just basically what happened. And so I got obsessed with saying to myself that I'm gonna make this work no matter what.
And you did. Walk me
Yeah.
through, like, okay, so did you go to college, or did you just go straight into the academy? How does that work? Don't they like favor people? That my buddy tried to be a cop, and he tried it really hard, and they didn't accept him in like Palm Beach, and it said because everyone else had a college degree or something. I don't know how that works.
It's like certain agencies is different and stuff like that. I basically went to the academy with BSO, and
Okay.
that was just basically what happened. I did 8 years there. I had a great time, but it's just not, there's the type of life that I want to live. BSO can't provide that for me. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then you're in a toxic environment. You're always constantly on guard. Like you really don't, you get really desensitized to people and stuff like that. So you kind of gotta have some type of self-awareness of yourself.
Yeah.
When you're in that world, because it is a different world. And I was in the military also. So when I was in the military, you know, I had a great time, like traveling the world, doing this and third, being a complete badass. You know what I'm saying? So that was just like dope until I got, you know, things started to shift. You try to shift in, but I knew something about myself that I just couldn't get with the program. I'm not a political guy. I don't like politics at all. So I just was like, I just had to be real with myself and just be like, I want to live on my own terms, and I don't give a damn what y'all got going on over there to move whoever's agenda.
Yeah. No, I agree. That would piss me off too if I just one day was like, all right, I got to go over here. But all right, bro, let's get into the fun stuff here. How did you come across my annoying face? Like, where did you see me?
Instagram.
Was
Instagram.
Was it from an ad or a reel, like a viral video?
So I was YouTubing how to cold call, because in my brokerage, the totality of real estate for me, I want to be an investor. Like I want to be a full right. So I want to be a whole investor. I want properties to cash flow for me. I want, you know, that as where I'm coming from, I had to build a foundation somewhere. I'm on YouTube. I'm like looking at all these guys that's, you know, talking about cold calling, scripts, this, that, and the third. And the one thing that I noticed is that these guys are getting YouTube money. I never seen anybody like really like quite like you, like that was actually like giving out rebuttals the way you were giving them out and the way you were executing on them. So it was like I started to realize these guys are not actually in the field doing what they're doing. And I kind of put two and two together with you. I say, okay, so this guy actually working the business. He's doing social media. He's getting listings. He's doing this. He's doing that. The other guys weren't really doing that. Their content was good, but when I'm like looking at their scripts and I'm doing the work, it's not hitting the same. It's not that. And then I'm trying to get to the point where in my mind, I'm just like, I gotta find somebody that's like really doing this for real, because I need that, like your personality and I, they kind of mirror each other. So I said, yeah, that's it. So that's when I started watching your stuff. I took your rebuttal video and I made it my own. When I used to listen to it every morning and just kind of like say it in the shower and stuff like that. And I just made it my own, and I made it work for me.
You military police people, like you guys are so fucking disciplined. Like we have a couple other guys that are former military, and they're like Aaron, like the guy's disciplined second, and he's the first one at role play. He's the last one to fucking leave. He shows up more than anybody else. I also noticed too, just anybody who's like into their fitness, not super into it, but like into their fitness, those people that are disciplined, they are the ones that show up and get results fast too, because they're just like, all right, I'm gonna treat this how I like to treat the gym. So okay, so you watched a few videos, and then what? Were you like, fuck it, I'm gonna do the full blown thing? Because you and I went back and forth for a minute.
Another other thing that stood out is when I think I liked one of your videos and stuff that you reached out to me, and I was like, nah, this guy can't be real. Like I didn't think it was like a thing, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, this guy can't be fucking real and stuff like that. And then once I realized this is a real person, I said, oh shit. Like, so, but at the space that I was in, I knew that I couldn't like do anything, but I was grateful to see the fact that you're a real person that actually like answered the DM. So I was just like, all right, shit, whatever. I hear what he got to say. What do I got to lose? Then you started doing the master classes or something like that, and I joined in, and I saw the energy, I saw the, you know, the bravado. I was just like, okay, he's from up north. I can deal with that because I used to live in Brooklyn for like 3 years. So I said, I can deal with somebody who's like let's fucking go. Like I can deal with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people, they can't deal with that. Like, and I'm fine with that. You either gonna work with me or move out the way. Like, yeah. So that's when I saw that, I said, okay, I need to tap in with this dude. I need to see what he's providing, and I need to make it my own, because that's the main thing that I got from you. That it's not about the script. It's about knowing the information and making it your own. And once you make it your own, that's how you flourish. And once I mastered that, I was just like, oh, it's game over.
Did you have any like skepticism, or were you like a little on edge before you did anything? Were you like, I don't know, I feel like I've seen enough that like I'm gonna do it? Or were you like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this guy's like actually legit. I don't know if he's gonna be like attentive. I don't know if his coaches are gonna be good. Like I've heard everything. So I'm just curious, genuinely, like what your...
I knew that you were busy to the point where you had a team that you trained, I would be able to work with. I don't think like that, because I have watched you enough. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched you enough to be like, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the consistency of what you're doing. That speaks louder to me than everything else. Because like I said, like like the other dudes, and it's another thing with me, I don't like listening to a lot of people. Like I'm one of those people that I don't like listening to a lot of people. I would literally tell you to shut the fuck up and walk away. That's just me. Because if you're saying something and I'm seeing something different and it's not adding up, I don't want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? Like so when I saw that you were consistently closing deals, posting on social media, doing the work, you know what I'm saying? Like going on live, and then the guys that was under you were doing the same thing. I said, okay, like let me just say like that the guys that graduated from your gauntlet started to do it and start working at a pace that I was like, okay, I could get that. Like, because everybody can't go, and there's only a few people that's willing to do the work to get to where they want to be. It's only a few, and I've seen that in everything.
What shifted for you when you joined? Was there a mindset shift, or was there anything that really hit you right off the bat that you were like, damn?
I was kind of everything I already shifted for me in my mind. I just needed the right train to get on. I was like starving out here looking for something to just, you know, latch on to, take it, and then run with it. That's what I was doing. That's why we was the back and forth with what we was going on and with Alan and everything like that. I was just like, bro, like I'm trying to study so when January comes, I'm trying to like flood this whole goddamn market with just me. Like I'm just trying to do whatever. And I knew the numbers. I knew what I had to do. I was plotting, ChatGPT in. Like I knew, like I was like, I want to make 100,000 this year, and I need to go ahead, in real estate. I need to like just give me something to give me like a blueprint of where I need to go. I need to go fight. I continue fighting for my kid. I need to go ahead and work my ass off because I don't have nobody to lean on. Like I'm not sitting here crying, talking about, oh, life is so, fuck that. Like I got my MLS, I got my license. People are making thousands of dollars in this industry still in this market. I'm not complaining. I just need someone to guide me. Here, this is the lane, take it. That's it.
What was the biggest thing that a value that you got from being inside? Not from YouTube, not from anything else. Like, what was the one thing that you were like, oh wait, Nucci does these calls on Thursdays, or wait, his coaches are actually all making 6 figures and they're giving really good advice?
The community was really dope. I like the dude that does the training in the morning, Jalen.
Oh, Jaden, Evan.
Jaden.
Yeah.
I love all those guys. And Dennis is really, really dope. I love his stoicness when it comes to like he's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you tell him something, he already knows what you're gonna say, and then he just hits you in the head. Just like I saw you in them. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, this is the to be around. And I was just like, yeah, like, let me just get that. I went to all the trainings, and then I would go to the website, look at the videos. I would go through all these things, and then I would do all these things. I would train, like, just go over my head, and that's what I wanted to do. If Dennis was doing the listing agreement, I'm writing down everything that he's saying while we like in it, and I'm just trying to formulate it. Like, I had a listing appointment yesterday. The guy was like, I don't need to see any more realtors. You're gonna work with me. I just need to wait for my mom to come back from Turkey because the house is in her name. And I said, okay.
Energy and confidence. He was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, he was just like, nah, I'm working with you guys. It is what it is, and that's it. And that's the energy that I want to bring out. That's the aura I want to bring out when I'm at these people's houses, when I'm talking to them, letting them speak, understanding what their pain point is, and just going ahead and drilling them and doing the best that I can to market it and get their houses sold.
And how many deals again? Remind me. You joined like late December, early January. Let's say you really got on going in January, and it's April now. What do you got? 7?
So I got 7. We sold 3, but in total I got 7.
No shit. How much volume is that on the 3 you've closed?
The 3, they were all 550, 580, 600, and that was it. I just said I was just like, let's go, man.
So that's like 50 G's, 50 G's GCF in Q1.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we was just doing that. I was just hitting whoever was taking it, and then I got real good at doing foreclosures. So having that conversation with people on the phone, because foreclosures are hard, very, very hard.
Are you doing the training with Henry? Because that's his fucking bread and butter. He loves foreclosures and tax.
I did two trainings with him, but his market is a little different than ours. So it's the same, but it's a little different. And dealing with these people down here is a different monster.
Yeah, I've never fought, bro. I don't know how to handle that, and be honest with you.
Foreclosures is a different motherfucker. That's a different motherfucker, because you gotta understand, you have to understand that these people are losing the house they probably grew up in, family owned. So, and then on top of that, you got a whole bunch of real estate agents that's calling them, and they just want to sell the house. So I had to pivot with how I spoke to them. And what I would do is I would ask them, hey, I just want to know, do you want to keep your house? Before you hang up on me, do you want to keep your house? And they'd be like, yeah, I want to keep my house. But all you fucking guys keep calling me, talking about you want to sell. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. I have a team of people that specialize in helping you keep your home. How far along in the process are you? They'll be like, oh, I don't know. We got a lawyer that's handling that. You got a lawyer handling that, and you don't know what's going on in the process? When's the last time you spoke to the lawyer? Oh, a month ago. How much money did you pay them? I say, $1,000. Oh, you paid $1,000 to the lawyer. The lawyer hasn't spoken to you one time? And say, what did they tell you they were going to do? Oh, they're going to do a reinstatement. Hey, man, to be honest with you, a reinstatement only takes 10 days. You should have got some type of feedback with that. Did they say anything about a loan modification? They was like, nah, like, what the lawyer got to do with that? Exactly. The lawyer doesn't have anything to do with that.
You sound solid. You sound good.
Yeah, I got, like, and I can only thank you for that. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
watching you, bro. It's you too. You're putting in the work. You're listening to the right things to say, and you're implementing, and you're going out there, and you could have $250,000 a year right here.
I'm trying. Listen, I ain't trying to put a number on it yet.
Okay, trying. You ain't trying anything. You're doing.
I'm not trying to put a number on it. I'm working like I never worked before. And you can ask a day. I used to work 4 16-hour shifts, 5 16-hour shifts every single day in the worst areas in the jail. Like, you will hear me. They will get on the intercom. They'll be like, "Gee, call the lieutenant's office. Just put me wherever. I'm on it." That's how I used to be. So I have no excuse in this industry.
All right, I gotta roll with you guys, because I feel like some people are just out to get me in the DMs. I feel like someone might try and pull something slick. I want to be with BSO. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be with motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So you don't care. Like, you've been in fights at the jail. You've had to whoop some ass. You don't give a shit.
I don't look intimidating at all. I don't look intimidating, but it's be the best fight you ever lost.
Oh, bro, no, I can tell you're like very nice, but if someone crosses you, like it's on. Yeah, an end to it very quickly.
It's on. Are you still doing the jiu-jitsu?
I haven't gone in a couple months, bro. I've been so busy, and I don't want to go to that gym anymore, because I like the guy, but it's like it just smells like molded cheese in there, and he don't clean, and he wants me to do jiu-jitsu. I want to kickbox and shit.
Oh, okay.
What do you do?
I do jiu-jitsu. I do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do both. Like, I want to fucking throw some shit. I want to throw some kicks.
Yeah, you could. I mean, the spot that I go to is out west in Pembroke Pines, but I haven't gone in years, but that's where I grew up in. So, I mean, I could always come back in there. But I know that's a little distance from you. For you, that'll probably be like an hour drive.
I'll try and be somewhere like between Hollandale and Aventura, maybe Sunny Isles, like that area.
Yeah, and I don't know any like good gyms out there. I need to like start rolling again because it puts me in a good mindset. It gets me in a great mindset.
Listen, bro, I appreciate the hell out of you. And when you're ready, bro, you might be the next one on the team over here. I need a hungry.
Listen,
I need a hungry person with attitude. The attitude I can't change. The skills and all the other little things we can work on. That's easy.
I got work to do, man. I got work to do. I got a listing appointment at 3. I'm gonna close that deal. I'm gonna get that listing agreement for sure.
Yeah, you are.
Like I said, I can't thank you enough, bro. Like I've just been doing what I got to do to get out this hole I was put in. But I take full accountability for it. I'm just trying to get up, like, because once I really can't stand most listing agents.
Give yourself 2 years, 3 years, and you're gonna be sitting there. You're gonna pick your head up, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I got a few hundred G's that I put away, or whatever." You put some money away, and you're like, "All right, I can go buy 3-4 rental properties." You know, like, but you one thing at a time. Do this, stick to this, up as many listings as you can that are actually gonna sell. Keep going, keep improving on the phone. You can make it whatever you want to make it, bro. It's not like everyone's running their own race with their own vision. I could have sat there and said, I don't want to do coaching. I'm going to keep selling real estate. And I could have probably sold $80 million, $100 million last year. But to me, it's like, I'd rather go sell 20, not really even do much, you know, because I'm good on the phone. I'll just pick up the phone. I'll use my social media and get more fulfillment from coaching everybody. And then who knows, there might be a massive brokerage that comes from this in the meantime, but I'm shaping it however I want to shape it. So that's just, you know.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Definitely get that. I'm trying to be a little bit more attentive in the group also, because I know it's tough when you working and you got a group of people and you feel like they not working. Like me, I just been like I've been so locked in, bro. I wake up at 7, or I'll actually wake up at 5, do what I do, you know, read a book, and then I make breakfast, then I get into the coaching calls, and from once we get off the coaching calls, I'm in the phones, and I'm on Mojo, and I'm in Mojo. I'm on Mojo like this here.
Just standing up, getting ready.
Standing up. As soon as they answer the phone, we're like that. And if my boy, I have a partner in crime, we go to our office and stuff like that. We book the huddle. There's something called the huddle room. And it's like a soundproof hyperbolic time chamber from Dragon Ball Z. And like, we're in this shit. Like, let's go. And we got Mojo dialing, people answering, we're talking, and that's it. Like
high energy, just in the fucking room.
Oh, bro, it's like I call it the wolf's den. And like a lot of people in my brokerage, it's a lot of women. They're like, oh, they wanna come inside and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, you cannot come inside if you're not cold calling. You cannot come inside if you're not cold calling.
Yeah, no, it's period.
I'm not working with Instagram realtors. I'm not looking for new construction realtors. That I'm not doing that. If you're coming in this room, you're gonna open your laptop. You're gonna show us your leads and what you're working with. You're gonna tell me your game plan, how you're gonna execute, and you're going to do it. Yeah. We're gonna get something. If you get a fuck you, that's something. I don't care. You're gonna notate it. You're gonna follow up. You're gonna tell me you're gonna follow up, and you're gonna do either you do it in front of me or not. I don't care. And if you have a conversation with him, follow up boss records the whole session. That's fine. Just let us know you're doing something. If you can't hang, it's fine. Do not come into the wolf's den. We're not playing.
Yeah, you're gonna be a good leader, bro. You might have your own little team here in the future.
I appreciate that. I'm not right now. Just taking one step at a time.
I appreciate it. We're gonna get to it over here, but listen, I'll see you around soon. It means the world. I appreciate all the kind words. I'm happy as hell that you're crushing it. 7 deals already, 3 closed, pacing 200. Your first real full year of going full time.
Yeah. So like my birthday is next month, and then my broker was telling me like, what do you want to do? I said I don't want to do anything but close deals until we can celebrate. We can celebrate. We have to
make money, okay, guys?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My man, I appreciate you. Say goodbye. We're gonna get after it over here.
See you, girl.
Bye.
I'll see you, brother. I'll keep crushing. Thank you again.
Yes, sir. Got you.
I'll see you, bro.